So 6 months ago, I ordered the Scuf Infinity 4PS Pro and I made an unboxing video on YouTube. As you can see right here, it got 1.7 thousand views, which at the time was my most viewed video on my channel. So 2 months after that, I decided to make a Scuf Infinity 4PS review 2 months later, or 2 months after, you know, I got it, whatever, it doesn't matter. Now that video is my second most viewed video on my channel to this date, which I'm hyped about, 7.8 thousand views. I'm like, it doesn't get better than that. So honestly, thank you guys, it's pretty dope. I'm really hyped about that. And to this date, I still get people asking me, how's the controller doing? There's a lot of people that are on the fence about buying it, whether they should buy it or not. And I figured, why not just make another video 6 months after I got the controller? And to summarize the entire review, the controller works perfectly fine. There's literally nothing wrong with it. About 99% of the time this controller works. The 1% is under one scenario, and that scenario only. The only problem I have with this controller is that on Call of Duty Modern Warfare, when I'm playing, I have these paddles right here. This is my slide/crouch button or paddle, and then this is my jump paddle right here. For some reason in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and only that game, for some odd reason, I don't know why, the paddle doesn't work 100% of the time. Usually what I have to do is I have to press it harder and a little bit longer for it to respond and for the game to actually receive my input. It's really odd because in games like 2K20, FIFA 20, like literally every game that's on the PlayStation, this paddle works perfectly fine 100% of the time. But just in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, this paddle doesn't work all the time. So I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. It is disappointing because this, in my opinion, these controllers are made for games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Overwatch, literally any first-person shooter game or any tactical like Rainbow Six Siege. So there you go. That's my very basic review of this controller. If you're looking at getting it, I recommend it. All right, so now let's go into the more in-depth review for the people who have a little bit more time to watch this video. As you guys know, I've had this controller for 6 months now. It's been in my room. It's been in my dorm. I've had this controller when a lot of people are in the rooms and everyone's touching it with dirty hands. But overall, this controller has about 200 hours of playtime on it. Just from me sitting in my room, sitting in my dorm, playing games like Call of Duty 2K. And as you can see, the joysticks are almost perfectly brand new. There is a little bit of wear on the sides of them, but that's kind of expected to happen, especially after 200 hours of game time. Along with that, the white joysticks, unfortunately, have received a little bit of color from, say, like Cheetos on people's fingers, Doritos, but that's kind of expected to happen, especially over 6 months. They're white joysticks, your fingers are going to be on them, it's oily, although it's not too noticeable. Like, as you can see, they're still white, they still look white. If you look at it, you're not going to say, oh, is that like a little bit of Cheeto dust? No. They're still white. It looks perfectly fine. The buttons, the D-pad, the touchpad right here, the triggers, everything works perfectly fine, almost like it's brand new, almost like this is just right out of the box. If I got a wet cloth and I wiped this entire thing down and really cleaned it, and I put this in a scuff box and gave it to you, you would probably say, wow, this controller looks almost brand new, except for the wear on the sides. All the buttons work perfectly fine, never had a problem with any of the buttons, never had a problem with the charging port. I know in my last video I said that I actually did. Turns out I was using the wrong cable, so that's my fault, my bad, guys. Other than that, paddles work perfectly fine, never had a problem with that, and the grip on the back looks amazing, just like it came out of the box. Man, I don't know. You guys know how I like to make my videos short and to the point. I don't need all this, like, sellout stuff. That's bullshit. All right, but that was my basic review of the controller. There's like really not much else I can say about it. Like, it's done its job, it's expensive, and it's worth it in my opinion. It is 100% worth it. This is my second Scuf I've owned, and let me tell you what, this is better than the first one I owned, just because it's a newer model and I actually game a little bit more than what I used to. So in my opinion, I would say if you're on the fence about buying this, buy it if you want to buy it. You're not going to be disappointed as long as you treat this controller with care and you're not throwing it against the wall when you rage, throwing it on the ground, giving it to people with dirty fingers, just kind of something for yourself and only you. This controller is going to last you years, is what I'm going to say, at least years. No guarantees though, because it is a controller, but in my case, this has lasted me almost half a year, and there's literally no wear on it at all. There's little to no damage. I mean, like, it works perfectly fine. This is a great controller. I could probably sell this, as I said earlier, for almost brand new, because it really does look brand new and it feels brand new. Alright, so now in this part of the video, I'm going to be looking at the comments over the years and kind of answering some questions for you guys. Time to sort by newest first. You already know. Lee says, how is it still holding up? I want to order one, but I'm worried from bad reviews and good reviews. I don't know. It's going to cost me 280 Canadian. That's a lot for a controller that will break in 5 to 6 months. Lee, I can tell you that as long as you're not throwing this against the wall, as I said earlier, it's going to last you at least 6 months. For last, do I have any problems with the Scuf after I purchased it? The only problem I have is with the, I believe it's this paddle right here in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Other than that, there's absolutely no problems with it at all. Works perfectly fine, charges good, buttons work, feels really comfortable in your hand. It feels really good in your hand, in my opinion. It seems like a good controller. 170 is a bit outrageous. True that. Although I really do like this controller. Keep up the grind. I appreciate. There are a lot of people saying that they had low expectations when they clicked on my video, but they're saying that I'm really underrated. I'm a really underrated YouTuber, and I deserve more subscribers. I just want to say thank you guys so much. It really makes my day seeing those comments when I wake up and I see that someone enjoyed my video helped someone out, or someone just subscribed because they really like my content. It makes my day, guys. I really appreciate it, because this right here, doing this type of stuff, is my dream. And I guess this is a good time to put a little ad in for my photography prints. The link to my shop will be down in the description. All the prints are about $30, and they're taken by myself, just kind of around the world. And if you want, go ahead and buy them. I'll probably make an ad for that later on, but just thought I would tell you guys that. KJ123 says, I'm thinking of buying it, but can I use Control Freaks on the joysticks? Personally, I have not tried this yet, so don't take my word on this, but just looking at it, the joysticks do look pretty similar. Obviously, you have the concaved and the dome joysticks on the Scuf controllers, but it's still the same shape. It's still the same size. In my opinion, I don't think you should have a problem with the Control Freaks, so if not, I feel like you could just order the Control Freaks online. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you can always return them. So it's really, you're not really losing anything. But on my trigger stops loose says, you died, GG. I do not have trigger stops on this. I have never had trigger stops on any Scuf controller. I have no idea what that's like, so unfortunately I cannot answer that. If anyone's worried about, say, like shipping, if it's going to break while shipping, it comes with really good insulation, or I guess padding in this case, so the chances of your controller breaking are very, very slim. But if it does break on the way to your house, I'm guessing you could just call up Scuf and say, hey, like my controller broke on its way over here, can I get a refund? And I'm pretty much almost positive that they'll give you a refund, send you a new controller. Although I do not know if that's the case though. Other than that, that's about it for the review. Super simple, nothing too much. Like, there's really not much I can say about this, guys. It's a good controller. It is expensive. If you play a lot and you're looking to get this controller, I would say go ahead and buy it. Man, I mean, like, I'm trying to think of something else I could say about this controller, but I feel like I've said it all. In that case, guys, if you have any more questions, hopefully I answered all of them, so you don't. But if you do, leave it down in the comments. I'll be sure to respond within about 2 hours or so. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and subscribe so you don't miss another upload. And as always, peace out.
Ripped jeans, black nails, and a studded Gucci belt. Shawty left me all alone, and I hate the way it felt. Yeah, I'm crazy, I should listen to my mom and get some help. I'm a legend, when I die, I'll be the flyest one in hell.